Greetings, Cyberdogs and citizens of the Interbubs. This is Ren Digging in Nauga coming at ya in another Minecraft episode from the Hermitcraft server. We're kicking things off today from our Quadra Chopper logging facility, where I've been hard at work this week on a brand new redstone fungus farming contraption of awesomeness that is going to help us farm the new 1.60 nether logs at an industrial scale and hopefully dramatically boost profits for us over at our log shop in the commercial district. That's right, my fellow Bigger Logs Incorporated lumberjacks. Today we're getting into the nether logs business on the Hermitcraft server, and I'm confident that this redstone monstrosity thing is going to help usher in a new era of prosperity for us here at Bigger Logs Incorporated. Now, it turns out farming nether trees is a lot more complicated than it may seem, my dudes, and we've got a ton of work to do this week to bring this dream to life, but we'll get back to all that warty business in a moment, because first things first, we've got some business to attend to over at Town Hall. And let's just say things haven't quite gone to plan with our mayoral ambitions on the server. The voting results for mayor are in, and well, it's not good news for the Renpire, which potentially means it's not good news for us either. Yup, it's official, my dudes. Good Times with Scar has been officially elected as mayor of the server, with Stress Monster 101 coming in a close second, and Falsey not too far behind, while Joe has also taken his spot as the official dog catcher on the server. And even though we voted for Stress, I gotta say, a huge congratulations to my friend Scar, who I have no doubt is going to do an incredible job as mayor through sound policy and terraformification, no doubt, and I can't wait to see what he does. Although, we better try get in touch with the Emperor, who I'm assuming is not as happy as I am about this result. Hold me, mama. This is Rendog transmitting for the Emperor. Over. Are you receiving? Over. Hello? Is anybody out there? Over. My fellow Ren troopers, this hologram transmitter device thingy-majiggy seems to be broken. Did I press the wrong button, or has the Emperor given up on this planet? I mean, I've not heard from that crusty old fool this week, and I gotta be honest, this radio silence from the Empire is making me uneasy, and I'm genuinely kinda worried right now, guys. Anyhoozle, no time to worry about that now, guys, because today we've got serious logs with a Z business to attend to. I've just finished rebuilding our blimp to its original design, and the plan for today is to expand our shop with 2 epic builds so that we can start selling the nether logs to our fellow hermits on the server. Of course, before we add any extensions to our shop, the rules of the commercial district dictate that we will need to purchase the land from the Diamond Throne. I've already marked out the space we're going to need for these builds, and we now owe the server 5 diamond blocks. And I guess it's more important now than ever to make sure we pay for the land we use, especially as we've got a new mayor in town. I have no doubt he's keeping an eye out on what's cracking around these here parts, so let's pop over to City Hall real quick and officially purchase 5 new plots for our blimp expansion plans. Although I'm not entirely sure where to place these bling blangs on this shiny monstrosity. Maybe around the back somewhere? Yeah, this'll do. Boop. Okay, sweet. We paid for the land and we're almost ready to get started on setting up our new netherlog business, guys. But first, I've got some great news to share with you from, well, from the nether, ironically. So in the previous episode, we ventured into the new nether and had a fantastic time. Although I was mildly embarrassed about my inability to find ancient debris, being a professional Minecrafter and all. The good news is that all changed this week, my dudes, and a few days ago on livestream, we set up a mining operation at level 11 in the nether and used beds to blow up massive holes in the netherrack to expose a ton of juicy ancient debris that we'll be using to upgrade our gear today. Now, blowing up beds to find ancient debris might not be the safest way to go about gathering netherite, but my goodness, guys, is it a ton of fun. Highly recommended to anyone brave enough to give it a go. Although, make sure you got blast protection on your armor and be very wary of those smelly hoglin beasts. They mean business, I gotta tell ya. now that we've got some ancient debris in the belly, it's time for us to upgrade some of our diamond gear to netherite level. On stream the other day, we managed to collect 11 ancient debris, and I've just finished setting up a temporary smelting facility in our TIE Fighter hangar bay, where we should be able to netheriteify some of our stuff today. We've got 7 tools and 4 armor pieces to eventually upgrade, 11 ancient debris blocks, and 1 bit of netherite scrappage we found in the Bastion last episode. So that's 11 pieces to upgrade in total, but unfortunately, we'll only have enough netherite to upgrade 3 bits, as each upgrade is going to cost us 4 netherite scrap, as I understand it. Dang it, dudes, this is going to be a really tough choice. Okay, first things first, we need to smelt down the ancient debris into netherite scrap. Step 2 is to transform the scrap into netherite ingots by mixing it with gold ingots in a crafting table. And finally, we need to use the smithing table to apply the netherite upgrade to our gear. As we've only got enough ingots for 3 upgrades right now, I reckon we go with Silkworm Jim, our Silk Touch pickaxe to help us out with building, Logalas, our Efficiency 5 axe because we chop a ton of wood around here, and maybe, a bit surprisingly, our shiny new Efficiency 5 diamond hoe which I made this morning, that is arguably about to become our most important tool on the server. But more about that in a bit. And there we have it, Cyberdiggity dogs. 3 out of 11 bits of Rendog gear upgraded, and my goodness, do they look and feel amazing. These netherite upgrades are going to add a ton of durability to our tools, which is obviously awesome, but it looks like we're going to have to head down to the nether once again at some point to complete the rest of the set. Yay! Not. Okay, enough dilly-dallying, my dudes. It's time to bring the business of nether logs to the Hermitcraft server, and I'm hoping it's going to be a profitable one because these new logs are absolutely gorgeous. And I'm sure my fellow hermits have some big plans to use them with their upcoming 1.16 builds. So we're currently on my creative sketch world where I've been working on a new redstone contraption to automate the farming of warped and crimson fungi. Or in other words, the nether saplings that we're going to need to industrialize farming the loggage. Now, if we're going to successfully farm nether logs, my dudes, we have to first respect and understand how the new nether trees function, because they're actually quite a bit different to the trees of the overworld. Firstly, nether trees are grown by bone mealing their funguses, which will only grow on warped or crimson nylium. And here's where our first challenge begins. Unlike overworld trees, nether trees do not drop saplings, aka funguses, when you chop them down. That's because the leaves of the nether trees are in fact solid blocks and do not decay, unlike their overworld counterparts. Oh, and these solid leaves present their own set of challenges, by the way, but we'll get into that in a moment. Now, the only way to get fungus is to bone meal nylium directly, very much like flowers are grown on grass in the overworld. With that in mind, it is most definitely possible to use redstone to automate the growth and harvesting of funguses in much the same way as we can do with flowers using a redstone farm. And that is exactly what I've been trying to design over here this week. Welcome to Rendog's automatic nether tree fungi factory of awesomeness, our first step towards making all our nether log profits dreams come true. Now, the way this bad boy functions is actually quite simple. From a single redstone signal, this farm pulses bone meal via dispensers into a platform of nylium, while pistons below the platform constantly raise and retract the nylium blocks to break the fungi and roots growing on them, and thus resulting in maximum growth per cycle. Water then flushes across the platform every few seconds, sending all that juicy nether foliage into a collection system that sorts the funguses from the roots. The fungi end up in a storage container, and all the roots are sent into an array of composters via a simple sorting system below the platform to be turned into bone meal and fed back into the farm. Now, unfortunately, this farm cannot generate enough bone meal to keep the entire thing going 24/7, but I think it's kind of cool that we have created almost a self-sufficient farm that can refeed itself with the bone meal that it needs to grow the funguses. And I just really love how this thing works. It's really satisfying, and what makes me really happy is that it all came out of my own brain, which is actually kind of amazing considering how bad I am at redstone. And there we have it, Cyberdiggity dogs, my very own design for fungus farming in Minecraft 1.16. Now we just need to get it functioning on the Hermitcraft server, so wish me luck, my dudes. It's the next day in real life, Cyberdiggity dogs, and I've got some great news to share with you this morning. Last night on live stream, we made some pretty big changes to our Bigger Logs Incorporated shop here in the Commercial District. Just take a look at this, baby. You know what? We decided on stream it's about time this place gets a facelift, and we installed a bunch of really cool ramparts and stuff into this area just to bring it a little bit more to life, to get that steampunk Western vibes going, and more importantly, preparing the area for 2 brand new shops that we're going to be building here to sell the new nether logs known as Crimson and Warped Stems. Here's the plan for today, guys. We're going to build 2 brand new mini blimps floating above the main mothership blimp over here, but these aren't going to be normal blimpages, okay? These are going to be blimps straight out of the nether. They're going to look evil. They're going to look like they came through a nether portal, and dangling at the very end of their ropes will be the brand new stems that we're going to be selling to the hermits. But first things first, it's pointless building the blimps if we've got nothing to sell. So let's figure out how to grow some freaking fungi and blast the jazz out of nether trees, shall we? Okay, my fellow lumberjacks, the moment of truth is upon us. I have just finished installing the Nylian platforms into our fungi farm, and I've done all the redstone too. I am 99% sure that I have installed everything correctly, although, you know, there is a 1% chance this entire thing blows up when we hit this lever. But if all goes to plan, we should be able to start farming some of those beautiful nether trees in the Quadra Chopper very, very shortly. Okay, I tell you what, guys, we're going to do a bit of an experiment with our shiny new fungi farm, alright? Check it out. I have got a stack of bone blocks over here, and I am very curious to see how many funguses we can get from an entire stack of bone blocks. Now, I've also done my best to set this farm up as intuitively as possible, guys. We've got barrels for bone meal, and when we hit the lever, we should just get funguses down there, bone meal over here, and we don't have to worry about all the crazy redstone going on around the thing. That's how I like my redstone machines to work, but enough dilly-dallying. Let's see if this bad boy works. We're going to prime it with some bone meal, 4.5 stacks for each dispenser. And I guess there's only one last thing to do over here. That's to hit the freaking lever. Oh, jeez, please work. Boom. I hear some ticking. I hear some pistons extracting and retracting and breaking stuff. And there's our first flush of goodies. Very good. Okay, that looks like it's working beautifully. The timers are functioning the way that they're supposed to, I guess. Let's take a quick check on the composters. Yes, the composters are getting fed by all of this beautiful rootage that is coming out of the farm. And as we can see, those composters are composting away, creating bone meal. Is the bone meal going up? Yes, it is. Yes, it's all working, my dudes. Beautiful stuff. Okay, I tell you what, it's going to take a little bit of time to burn through an entire stack of bone meal blocks. So let's have a look how many fungi and bone meals we can get from a stack of bone meal blocks. Yes, it's a beautiful day for Bigger Logs Incorporated, my dudes. Right, that took about 5 minutes to burn through a stack of bone blocks, and the results are in, my friends. Let's have a look how many fungi we managed to farm. Ooh, looking good. About 2 stacks of warped and crimson fungus per stack of bone meal blocks, and about 2 stacks of bone meal. So not a lot of bone meal produced, but a ridiculous amount of warped fungus and crimson. That is amazing. That's going to be more than enough to do one entire harvest in the Quadra Chopper. And yeah, that's going to be next step. Let's blow up some nether trees, my dudes. Well, after 1 or 2 failed attempts at lumberjacking nether trees in the Quadra Chopper, my friends, I think it's safe to say that these new trees are much more difficult to farm than your average overworld tree. And there's a couple of challenges that I need to show you guys, because it's kind of interesting. The good news is, though, I think I've managed to come up with a method that we can use here in the Quadra Chopper to cut down an insane amount of crimson and warped logs. Check this out. Now, the first thing that we need to do is prepare the Quadra Chopper blast platform with some squares of netherrack. These are 5x5s with the Nylium in the middle. And the cool thing about Nylium is that we can actually turn netherrack into Nylium with bone meal over here, right? This simply means we can save on Nylium blocks that get blown up by the TNT. The next step, of course, is to grow and bone meal the fungi, and this is where things get really interesting. Remember I said earlier on in the episode that our brand new netherite hoe is about to become our most important tool? Well, this is the reason why, my friends. The warped wart hoe of the dog is about to be put to some very serious work. Check this out. We've got our shrooms ready to grow, we bone meal them, and we need to keep close attention to how these trees are growing here on the platforms. As you can see, this tree that we just made has created a bunch of these leaves around our growing platform, and we need to get rid of these leaves. The reason that we need to do this is that we need to maximize the amount of root that gets grown with each of our trees here. And if those leaves spawn above a new fungus we're growing, that new fungus will not replace those leaf blocks with stems like normal trees do, and so we'll lose out on a log yield in the harvest. So the trick to efficiently farming these trees in our Quadra Chopper, guys, is to plant the fungi, get the hoe out, and then make sure that all of the blocks above the fungi have been cleared. All of these leaf blocks can get broken really quickly by this Efficiency 5 hoe, which is amazing. And then all we need to do is grow each of the funguses one by one, and then make sure the next fungus has blocks cleared above it, and that should result in maximum yield of stems per growth platform when we blast the living jazz out of them. Right, all of the nether trees have been planted and hollowed out, and now comes the fun bit, my dudes. We get to blow them up with TNT. Oh, I do love this part. Although, I gotta say, quadra chopping nether trees is actually a lot more expensive than quadra chopping normal trees, because the leaves are solid and not transparent, which means we need to do a couple of blasts per level to actually get rid of these things, which is, you know, it's alright. I love sending TNT down these tubes. It's one of the funnest things I get to do on the server, and I mean, I guess we're just going to have to raise the cost of nether logs in the log shop, right? Because, yeah, very expensive and time-consuming to farm these things. Boom! Boom! Boom, baby! Kaplam! Boom! Now, the really interesting thing about farming these nether trees on an industrial scale like this, guys, is that we get an absolutely ridiculous amount of loot per harvest. Just take a look at this. Not only do we get the crimson and the warped stems that we're going to be selling in the shopping district in a short moment, but we also get shroom lights, which are really sweet. We get vines, we get roots, and we get a ridiculous amount of warts in both varieties. In fact, we get more wart blocks than anything else from farming nether trees. And there's something really cool that I have recently discovered about these root blocks. Yes, they suck because they are not transparent like leaves, and they're kind of annoying to farm. However, they have a very curious property to them. Let's head over to the fungus farm here, guys, and to the composter array. Take a look at this. We can actually turn the wart into bone meal by composting them, which is fantastic news. Through some sort of combination of the fungus farm and the quadra chopper, I reckon we could pretty much generate more bone meal than we could ever need in Season 7 from farming nether trees. And on top of that, we're going to make a sick profit out of the logs over at the blimp. And with that professional segue, let's head over to the shopping district to build 2 brand new nether blimps so that we can start profiting from these beautiful stems. Time-lapse time, baby! And there we have it, my dudes. 2 new blimpages added to our little corner of the shopping district. And you know what? I think they turned out pretty sweet, even if I do say so myself. Yep, it's going to be pretty much impossible for my fellow hermits not to spot those evil-looking blimps as they wander through the shopping district. They look really cool from a distance, don't they? And you know what? I'm also very pleased with the improvements that we made to our log shop area this week. Let's be honest, it really did need a bit of a facelift. It was just a blimp floating above mycelium, but the place is looking really, really awesome now, and last thing we need to do is figure out how much we're going to be selling these stems for. Okay, I can't help myself, guys. One full immersion look at our new log shop area here, starting all the way at the bottom of the new staircase that is going to take us into the Bigger Logs Incorporated blimp shopping zone. Standard logs are still for sale at the same price of 2 diamonds per stack, but my dudes, I think we need to figure out a fair price for these new nether stems, and they're going to be pretty expensive because farming these things burns through a ton of TNT, bone meal, and time, and we need to be compensated for our hard work, right? Okay, dudes, I just had an idea. Maybe this is a chance for us to get a hold of some more netherite without risking our life in the nether. Check it out. This is the price that I'm thinking. 1 diamond block per stack or 1 scrap per stack. Now, I know what you're saying, Rendog, 1 diamond per stack seems crazy expensive, but guys, remember, we got to go through a ton of TNT to farm this stuff, right? So we're probably only making a profit of 4 or 5 diamonds per stack here. But most importantly, we're going to sell these suckers for a scrap. So if hermits don't want to pay diamonds and they've got excess scrappage lying around, well, I think that's a pretty good bargain. 1 scrap, 1 stack of stems, and helping Rendog get a full set of netherite gear? Sounds fair to me, baby. Well, my dudes, it's been quite the week for me here on the Hermitcraft server. Jeez, I don't even want to think about how many hours I have spent blasting stems with TNT and building double blimpage action. It's been quite the grind, but I hope you guys have enjoyed it, baby. We've got our brand new netherlog shop stocked. The profits are about to come rolling in. And unfortunately, we have run out of time in today's episode, my friends. I'm hoping that we're going to get enough scrap from our new shops to build a full set of netherite gear. We're going to have to see next episode, but for now, my friends, we have run out of time in this one. I really hope you have enjoyed it, and if you have, you know what to do. You smack that freaking like button. If you haven't subscribed yet, well, subscribe for stemage and fungi. I can't think of 2 better things to subscribe for. You know what I'm saying? Thank you so much for watching, my friends. Rendigininaoga signing out from the Hermitcraft server, and we will smell you all in the next episode.